Top White House advisors on Sunday defended President Donald Trump's firing of the head of the Bureau of Labor Statistics, pushing back against criticism that Trump's action could undermine confidence in official U.S. economic data. Trump ordered the firing of BLS Commissioner Erica McIntarfer on Friday after her bureau's monthly non-farm payrolls report included downward revisions that showed 258,000 fewer jobs had been created in May and June than previously reported. Trump accused her of faking the numbers without providing any evidence of data manipulation. Kevin Hassett, director of the National Economic Council, said the president is, quote, right to call for new leadership.
The big downward revision is something of a puzzle. I don't think it was explained very well. And so I think what we need is a fresh set of eyes at the BLS, somebody who can clean this thing up.
And U.S. Trade Representative Jamieson Greer told CBS that Trump had real concerns about the data. But many economists and officials slammed Trump's move, saying it would shake trust in a respected statistical agency. William Beach, a former BLS commissioner, told CNN there is, quote, no way for a commissioner to rig the jobs numbers, and that there was a 500,000 job revision during President Trump's first term when Beach was commissioner. The revisions in Friday's report were, however, large by historic standards. The BLS gave no reason for the revised data, but noted that, quote, monthly revisions result from additional reports received from businesses and government agencies since the last published estimates and from the recalculation of seasonal factors.
Tesla has granted new shares worth about $29 billion to CEO Elon Musk. The move aims to keep the billionaire in charge while he fights a court ruling that voided his original pay deal. A Delaware court stopped Musk's 2018 compensation package last year, which was valued at more than $50 billion. It said the Tesla board's approval process was flawed and unfair to shareholders. Musk kicked off an appeal in March against the order. He claimed a lower court judge made legal errors in rescinding the record compensation. Tesla formed a special committee earlier this year to consider Musk's compensation. It said in a filing the new pay award is designed to gradually boost Musk's voting power. Both Musk and shareholders have said this was key to keeping him focused on Tesla's mission. It added that if the Delaware court fully reinstates the previous pay award, the new interim grant will either be forfeited or offset. Tesla itself is at a turning point. Musk has shifted focus from a promised affordable EV platform to robo-taxis and humanoid robots. The company has lost about a quarter of its value so far this year. European shares ended 3 straight sessions of declines Monday and recovered some ground from Friday's sell-off. But Switzerland caught the market's attention as stocks there hit their lowest in more than 3 months. The top 10 fallers on the Stoxx 600 in early trade were Swiss. Investors were spooked as they took in a major 39% tariff rate the US placed on the country. Swiss manufacturers warned Friday tens of thousands of jobs were at risk after being hit with such a heavy rate. The US is a top export market for its pharmaceuticals, watches, machinery and chocolate. The levy is also much higher than the baseline tariff of 15% faced by the EU, Japan and South Korea. Swiss luxury companies Richemont and Swatch were among the most exposed to tariffs. Swatch CEO Nick Hayek called on the Swiss president to meet Trump in Washington to negotiate a better deal. Swiss pharma stocks Novartis and Roche both slipped at the market open. Pharma exports weren't included in the tariffs announced Friday, but investors took note of a letter President Donald Trump sent to the leaders of 17 major pharma companies directing them to slash US prescription drug prices.
South Korean authorities began removing loudspeakers along the border with the north on Monday. They've been broadcasting anti-North Korean messages since last summer, when Yoon Suk-yeol was still the South's president. Now, current President Lee Jae-myung is trying to reduce tensions with Pyongyang. He switched off the broadcast after he took office in June. and the South's Defense Ministry says now they're taking them away.
Our military began removing loudspeakers facing North Korea starting today. It's a practical measure to help ease tensions between the North and the South without affecting the military's readiness posture.
Last week, a senior North Korean official speaking in state media rejected Lee's recent overtures for peace and said they have no interest in dialogue. That's as relations between the two sides have hit their worst level in years. The countries remain technically at war after the 1950-53 Korean War ended in a truce, not a peace treaty.
It's indeed very tough to deal with the heat. When I was younger, I didn't think the heat was all that bad. In fact, I used to dislike the cold weather. But as I've gotten older, I just can't stand this kind of heat anymore. On top of that, the hot season gets longer, so it really takes a toll on me. There were times I felt like quitting. It is really tough. You have to be very self-disciplined, both physically and mentally. So sometimes I do think about quitting.
White suits, masks, and a front row view of machines that craft cutting-edge microchips. It's all another day at a summer camp designed to drum up kids' interest in the most important industry here in Taiwan, the semiconductors that power most of the globe's electronics and AI servers. However, a declining birth rate could leave tens of thousands of critical jobs vacant. So from etching to lithography, some 80 students from 8 countries get to see every step up close. 16-year-old Nicholas Choi from Singapore was one of them.
I'd say that a lot of these just tech companies are interesting to me because I myself really enjoy playing video games. So I'm really just always using these semiconductor products. And so to me, most of these companies are really interesting.
It's one of many events like it in recent years, held by companies and Taiwan's universities as demand for chips surges around the world. The camp has been held by US-based chip designer Synopsys since 2023, but this was the first year it was hosted in Mandarin as well as English, a sign of how worries have grown over Taiwan's aging population. 17-year-old Caroline Choi sees it all as an attractive career choice.
I'm thinking of pursuing a major in software engineering and economy in university next year, so I think it was a pretty good introduction to the field I'd like to go in.
Taiwan's role in the chip supply chain is huge. Native company TSMC is the world's largest contract chip maker. Any decline in this industry dominance threatens Taiwan's existence. The island faces the threat of invasion from Beijing, but Taiwan draws much of its global significance from chip giants like TSMC. But yearly births fell by 35% in 10 years from 2014 to 2024, and STEM graduates fell 10% during the same period. As tech giants Nvidia increased their presence in Taiwan to stay close to the supply chain, chip companies and experts warn that it's becoming increasingly hard to find local talent with the declining student population. Job openings in the sector rose from 19,401 in the second quarter of 2020 to 33,725 this year, according to a local human resources firm. The industry is grappling with a shortage of both highly skilled professionals, from circuit design and R&D engineers to essential production staff, including operators and assembly technicians.
This is our first time participating in such a world-class competition in Beijing's Haidian district, so we're incredibly excited. We're excited to be able to compete with team members from all over the world, right here at home. We're really looking forward to showcasing the new algorithms we've been researching. We adopted the method of imitation learning to enhance learning. That is, through imitation learning, we first let the robot watch human movements, and then let the robot go through thousands and tens of thousands of iterations in a situation environment so that it can learn the essence of those movements, and then learn to dribble, kick, and shoot the ball like a human.